Hey everyone, I'm Kat. I'm here with Lexie and Vicky, and we're going to be doing our final video for our Care&Prevention class. And we're going to each lead an exercise for the other two, and you guys are going to get to observe how someone does it wrong and how to fix that, and what a correct exercise looks like.
The first exercise that we're going to do is overhead squat. Right here we have Kat, who's going to show you the correct way to do the overhead squat. So first you're going to put your hands above your head, and you're going to squat with your legs shoulder width apart 3 to 4 times. As you can tell, Kat's knees are not going in or going out too far, and her spine and back is straight and not slanting forward or slanting back. Good job. So next we have Vicky, who's going to do the overhead squat as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands above your head as well, your feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to squat 3 to 4 times. So as you can tell, Vicky's legs are collapsing in, and her right leg is going in as well, and her heel is going up on her right. And also her back is slanting forward. So what we're going to do to correct that is we're going to use a band or a resistant band to put around her legs to keep them from collapsing in. And then for stretching that we can do is she can do the clamshell, which will help strengthen it. So with rolling out,
On the chair behind you.
Chair. She's going to roll out her hamstrings and her quads and her IT band. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the ground and put the roller below your calf. And you're going to roll it until you find a spot that's tender. And you're going to go back and forth on that tender spot. Rock it back and forth. Next, she'll move up into her hamstrings. And she'll do the same. Once she finds the tender spot, she will once again rock back and forth. She can also use a tennis ball where she can put behind it, and she can sit in a chair and put the tennis ball under her leg, which is on the chair, and she can pump it. Once she finds a spot that's tender, she'll pump her leg back and forth on the spot that's tender. So the next thing we can do after Vicky has sat on the chair and used the tennis ball on her hamstrings, we're going to roll out her adductors. So we're going to use a foam roller, and she's going to lay on her side and make sure she puts the roller on her adductors and roll it back and forth like that. And once she finds a tender spot, she can once again kind of like wiggle it back and forth. So the stretch I'm going to show Vicky is a clamshell. Vicky's going to lay on her side and put her legs at a 45-degree angle. She's going to put her hand on her glute, and she's going to pump her leg up 3 to 4 times to activate it. A regression is to have her use the thermobands in order to ensure her glutes are activating. A progression is to have her do the exercise without the bands, and later to do so holding longer at the top, as well continuing until she completely lifts her leg from her ankle and holds for about 20 seconds and then comes down. You cannot progress unless you're able to complete these reps, generally 3 reps of 10.
Alright, the second exercise we're going to be going over for evaluation is breathing patterns. This is a big deal because it actually reveals a lot of where the tension is held by most people. So we're going to have our Vicky sit in the chair. Okay, you want them to sit upright so they're pretty flat right here. We're going to have one arm, your right arm on your chest, and one on your stomach. Alright, you're going to have them take a really big deep breath in. Go ahead. And you're going to watch to see which hand raises above. Okay, one more. Okay, if you can tell, her stomach is actually where the breath is going in. So this is really good. You want to be a stomach breather, and so you're going to survive. Alright, next we're going to have Lexie do the breathing. We're going to have one arm right above the heart and the other one just below the belly button. And go ahead and take 2 deep breaths for me. Alright. If you guys can see, her chest is raising a lot. So this shows that there is a ton of tension probably in, you can stop breathing deeply, probably in her traps, in her lats. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get rid of that tension by rolling out. This kind of tension can cause a lot of problems in daily life. You can have headaches from this. You can just be very sore, weakness, any of that can happen. Okay, because this causes such tension in the back, it can also affect rotation. So we're going to start her flat on her back. Go ahead and lean back on this. And we're going to have her roll out her traps. Go ahead, and her lats, sorry. Okay, you just want them to find places that are extremely sore, and you want them to focus on this. This isn't going to be fun for people who actually have problems here because it does hurt, but it's going to feel a lot better when it works out. Okay. We're also going to have her work her pec minor. This is something that you want to do with a tennis ball or a baseball. So you can go ahead. We're going to roll out her lat. She's going to put the tennis ball right here, okay, when she's laying on her side, and she's going to roll up and down laterally. From her, just above her rib to her armpit. Okay, so go ahead and let me see if you understand what I said. Good.
That actually hurts.
Good. This is something that does hurt, but again, beneficial. If you want to do a progression with this, you move into a baseball. All right, so the next we're going to go ahead and show the progression for breathing pattern to focus on how she can learn to breathe with her stomach instead of going into her chest. Okay, so for this progression, we're going to have her laying on her back. We're going to put the chair right here. Go ahead and put your feet up here. Sorry about that. Good. All right, one hand just above your heart, the other one just above your belly. And I want you to breathe deeply, but force your breath to go into your stomach instead of your chest. There we go. Go ahead and do 2 more of those. Good. While she's doing this breathing pattern, you want to tell them that they need to do a 4 in, 4 out count. It's going to be 4 seconds in through the nose and 4 out through the mouth as if they're blowing out birthday candles. Okay, so a progression from her lying on the floor with her feet in the chair is going to have her up on her knees like this. Okay, we're going to have her arms in the same position as before. Good. Okay, and we want her to breathe again. Go ahead and do the 4 in through your nose and 4 out through your mouth count. While she's doing this, Lexie is going to be focusing on tightening her core. The idea behind this is that while she's kneeling like this and breathing this deeply, she'll be able to feel where she moves and if she moves, okay? So tight core, focus on the breathing. And Lexie does have a problem with this, so like moving up into this right now might be a little too quick for her, but that's okay. We're still going to be showing you guys what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to move into an exercise now that I've shown you guys some of the evaluation things. We're going to have her go on her knees again and hands flat on the mat. Good. Okay, this is called the cat camel. All right, while she's breathing, she's going to be arching her back like a camel, so up and then back down like a cat is hissing. Okay, this is again the 4 in count, which is, go ahead, 4 in, and then the 4 out, which is your cat. Good.
Okay, so I'm Vicky Kelly, and this is going to be the last exercise that we're going to show you. It's going to be shoulder mobility. And we have Lexie right here who's going to volunteer and show us how to do it. All right, so I'm going to have you ball your fists. I'm going to have you do 1 above and 1 below, and just try to get them as close as you can to one another, okay? All right, so we're going to turn and look at her. All right, I'm going to have you open your hands. Okay, so since she's able to touch, that's clearly a 3. And it doesn't look like she's like trying to compensate in any way, shape, or form in her body, so that's good. You can relax. All right, I'm gonna have you rotate. So other arm up. Open. Again, as she's touching, she's not compensating in any way, so that also is a 3. Go ahead and relax. Thank you. Now we have cat. Okay, so cat, I'm gonna have you ball your fist, 1 above, 1 below. Try to get as close as you can. Okay, and I'm gonna have you rotate. All right, and I'm gonna have you open your hands, close. Okay. So since she can't quite get it together, we're going to say that that's a 2. Okay, so rotate, open, close. Okay, that also is a 2. You can go ahead and relax. And due to it being a 2, it just means she could have some muscle tightness in there, or she may just be having slight trouble. Maybe she's had an injury, which, Kat, I think you're just sore because you had a rough workout there. Okay, so next we're gonna loosen you up before we start any sort of exercise because tightness and exercise do not end well, let me tell you. All right, so I'm gonna have you lay on your back, and then we're gonna just put the foam roller down. Go ahead and lean back on it. I'm just gonna have you roll back and forth on it. It's gonna work your lats and, you know, a little bit of your traps. And again, if you find a tender spot, just like rest. I wouldn't recommend rolling because I mean you can, but I would just like let your body sink on it. Okay. You feeling that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you come up. Anyways, I'm gonna have you take this pretty much, but
Okay.
and your shoulder, like your armpit, kind of like right back here, and then you're gonna rest against the wall over here, and again you're gonna put it right about there. Come out with your body. You're gonna roll it around, and when you find a spot that's tender, you're just gonna like rest your body weight into it.
Okay.
And then as you do it, you're gonna just, if you're not getting enough of your body weight in there, just like back your feet up so you can really get in there. Might hurt them a little with you.
Oh.
I know, it hurts, but it'll feel good later. Or at least that's what they tell us.
I know.
Okay, so go ahead and relax. Okay, so now you're going to take the tennis ball, and you're going to put it between your shoulder blade, which is your scapula, and your armpit, and you're going to rest it there, and you're going to do the same thing with the back. So right about here. So go ahead. Again, you're going to roll it around. When you feel a tender spot, you're going to let it let your body weight go into it.
Spot. Ow.
Just get on in there.
Okay. Yeah. What's next?
Okay, so you're gonna come off. Another thing you can do is, I wouldn't recommend it with a tennis ball because you're not really gonna get into those muscles as well, but I would take like a softball and you're gonna do figure eights around your scapula on the wall, which you'll definitely feel it and it'll really get in there.
So show them figure eight.
So like a figure eight is you're gonna come down, around, and just continuous. Okay, so now one of the exercises that we're gonna do as a corrective exercise, and it's gonna be a regression. I'm gonna have you lay on the ground. All right, I'm gonna have you lay down flat. You're gonna tighten your whole body. You're gonna put one arm up, about right here. Okay, and then you're gonna focus on your scapula, and you're gonna go up, down, protract, which is where you're kind of pushing it out, and retract, where you're bringing it back in. Okay, and while you're doing it, you're trying to focus on your scapula, not so much your arm. So, again, up, down, protract, retract. And again, protraction is where you're kind of pushing it out. Retraction, you're bringing it back towards your spine. Okay?
Oh. Okay.
Okay, just slow and controlled, going a little fast. Okay? And you're gonna do that, and the reason I have you on the ground is because it's a little bit easier to control, and it just gives you a bit more stability than if you're just up here And then eventually though, we will move you up, so you can stand up. We'll eventually move you up and have your arm out, and again, you're gonna go up, down, protract, retract. And again, you're just focusing on that scapula, trying to keep your arm still. And that would be a progression. So another exercise we can do is really cool. It's like rowing scorpions kind of, or something like that. So I'm gonna have you lay on your stomach on the table. And I want your shoulders to be about here. Make sure your feet are flat. All right, and you're gonna have your arms dangling off the table. All right, so you're gonna bring them up like you're Superman. And then you're gonna row it, pull it back like you're rowing. All right, and then you're gonna bring them back, down, and come back forward. Superman, drop back down. So instead, you're gonna give me 3 sets of 10. We'll start her off with no weights. Later, we can add a tennis ball because they're pretty light, and have her holding one in each hand. And then you can later progress to having her actually hold the ball weights, circular weights, while she's doing it. And again, she's gonna focus on having a tight core and tightening her scapulas while she's doing it. Another thing she can do is, okay, you can relax, sorry. Another exercise we can have her do is you're gonna come up on your hands and knees and do cats again. We did cats earlier. While you're doing it, you're gonna focus on keeping your scapulas tight. Like when you come down, I want the scapulas pushing together. Okay?
Alright guys, hope we've all enjoyed this Care and Prevention class. That is the end of our video and I hope you enjoyed it.
Have a nice night.